MrBeast, the biggest content creator in the world, known for his extraneous and daring video ideas, his upload consistency and hustle grind set, starting multiple different companies that earn him a top spot among the greatest businessmen to date. James Stephen Donaldson is an entrepreneur. Hell, he's a visionary. But there's another side to him. He's given away millions of his own money to charities, to individuals, to cure blindness, deafness even. What's next? My own sadness? But, and here's the kicker, is he doing all of these philanthropic duties out of the kindness of his heart, or is all of this being done purely for profit? Find out today on the first and only episode of MrBeast, Capitalist Pig or Philanthropist. I am your host, the Saji Sharma, and today I'm joined by my guest and esteemed colleague, Noah Samsen. Noah, how are you doing this day?
I'm doing great. Thanks so much for having me, Saji. Excited to be here.
Of course, and I see you've got your name tag so everyone can know who you are.
Yeah.
Great.
Just so you don't confuse me with the other guests.
The other guests, of course, which we will, I will get back to you on that. Noah here is a leftist and or bread tuber within the online space who is known for his hot takes on capitalism, men's mental health, being woke, and probably a lot more. And he is also, judging by his haircut, grifted over to the far right, to the alt right. Yeah? Yeah. Is that right?
Yeah, no, I'm super excited for the switch up. I'm a cop now and in the military at the same time somehow.
Whoa,
and
huge aspirations.
Yeah, I also did my first Leaving the Left video on PragerU, so you can check that out. And I'm also now an adjunct professor at PragerU,
Wow.
which is a university. So I
didn't know that was a university. Okay.
You should check it out. They have good programs.
Gotcha. We'll do. Anyway, the name of the game is simple. I, your host, Saji Sharma, will be going over situations and controversies that the MrBeast has been involved in. And together, me and Noah will be assessing both arguments, and we'll decide if each situation renders MrBeast as a capitalist pig or a philanthropist. And at the end, we're going to tally up our decision and come to a final conclusion. Are you ready, Noah?
I think so. Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. All right. Let's jump in. But before we get into that, we have to talk about today's sponsor, Aura. It's actually a really important time for me to be talking about them because recently, hackers may have stolen the social security numbers of every American. Over 2.9 billion records were stolen from national public data, which provides the personal information to employers and others doing background checks. This personal information includes a person's full name, address, date of birth, phone number, and most importantly, their social security number. And members of the hacker group have reportedly released this information for free online. This is terrifying. Data breaches and identity theft are no joke, and if you haven't already, it's important to take precautions, as we have never been more vulnerable in the online realm than we are right now. That is why I'm happy to introduce Aura as the sponsor of today's video. Aura monitors all of your personal data across billions of data points, like the dark web and public court records, in order to detect and alert you of any potential identity theft. You're given up to $5 million in identity theft insurance should the worst case scenario occur. And you're provided with a range of other features to help keep you safe online, all inside one app. So you can live your life stress-free and without fear of data breaches or identity theft. And even though national public data probably isn't going to face any repercussions, it's important that you don't leave yourself vulnerable to data breaches. You can use my link aura.com/Saji to try 14 days for free, which, rest assured, is enough time for Aura to find out if any of your personal data or information is being exposed. And thank you, Aura, for sponsoring this video. Number 1. This is the most recent controversy that MrBeast has been in. He has started several food-based companies, which he has expressed are not just based in profit, but started because he has a genuine passion towards them. These companies include MrBeast Burger, Feastables, and now Lunchly, which is a new and cheap competitor to Lunchables. There are two arguments that people are making online. One is that people are criticizing this company due to a low nutritional value, and just another way to make money off of children, claiming that there is no real difference from Lunchables. To counter that argument, MrBeast has stated in quotes, "Obviously eating fresh chicken and broccoli is healthy, but if someone is going to eat a pre-made meal like this, which millions of people do through Lunchables, then I think giving them a higher quality version at roughly the same price is a net good. I am in my opinion, and why we launched Lunchly. What are your thoughts, Noah Samsen?
So like you said, as he summarizes it, he isn't making this for profit. He's doing it because he has a passion for Lunchables based meals.
Yes.
And I think you should follow your passions, and I think that's totally valid. And I think he also stated that chicken and broccoli is better than Lunchables. I would agree. But at the same time, Feastables are better than air or sleep, eating air or sleep for dinner and starving. So in a way, I think that counts as philanthropy, right? Do you want kids to starve? Is that what you're saying? Or?
That's a very interesting point that you just made right there. I am going to have to stop you and just kind of ask if you think that people only have that choice if their choice is only air and or sleep, and then that other option being chocolate bars.
Oh wait, Feastables are the chocolate bars? Yeah, well, chocolate bars have a lot of calories. They used to send them in to war or something to keep people from dying.
Right.
War
So
notoriously keeps people from dying, or it kept the people that were killing from dying. So I guess it kind of evens out. There's food deserts, and in these food deserts they resemble like deserts with sand and stuff, and sometimes on the horizon you see nothing, or you see a Feastly or Lunchly, and you got to make that choice. And I think MrBeast is he's saving lives. So
okay, yeah, but do you think that he is providing a better alternative to Lunchables here?
I don't know.
It is healthier, or it is a lot more nutritional in that matter. Because if he was, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
If he was doing this out of the kindness of his heart to feed children, maybe he would find a healthier way to do so. Wouldn't you think, Noah?
Isn't it broccoli and chicken in the Lunchlys?
No,
what's in there?
No. He's saying that eating fresh chicken and broccoli is healthier than his brand. But if the children are going to eat a pre-made meal like this, which a lot of people do, they should eat a healthier version. His brand, which is a variety of food, such as pizza, dough, cheese, tomato sauce, and then there's nachos, chips, cheese, and then each one comes with a prime drink and a chocolate bar.
Yeah, so it's a multi-ethnic food and electrolytes.
Oh my god.
And I can support that.
I didn't even think about that.
Italian representation,
Hispanic representation. I do see where you're going with this.
Hydration.
Right. Okay, and hydration, and Prime does have a lot more electrolytes.
I don't know the specific macros of like how the foods compare.
Yeah. Yes.
I don't know like if they got good protein or whatever. I might need to look into it because I like go to the gym and stuff like that. But in terms of the actual comparison, I would have to see the details. But I mean, based on how you said it, I think it could be better, and I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing.
Okay, so now I can ask you, Noah, is MrBeast in this controversy a capitalist pig or a philanthropist?
Saji, as a YouTuber yourself that collects income based off of AdSense that goes into the system of watch time from viewers, would you consider yourself a capitalist pig? Because I personally wouldn't call you that.
You wouldn't.
But in the same way, that MrBeast
I wouldn't call me that either.
Is doing capitalism. He's just doing it better than you and I. He just figured out how to make lunches.
I see what you're saying.
So does that make him a pig? I mean, in a way, he's a pig. I'm a pig. We're just little baby piggies, and he's a big chunky pig that's full of money and wealth.
Okay. Yes.
And because, as you said, he's doing it out of the kindness of his heart and because he has passion, there's no ethical quandary whatsoever. It's objectively good, and he is philanthropist.
Philanthropist. Wow, Noah, you are blowing my brains. Let's keep going. On to controversy number 2. This one is very well known, and he was praised highly for it in the year of 2023. Jimmy cured blindness, or more specifically, he paid for cataracts surgery. A lot of people see this as a very kind thing to do, as Jimmy can't gain a lot out of this. Sure, he can gain money, he can gain profit. And sorry, I didn't specify. Jimmy, or the Beast, cured the blindness of 1,000 people. Now, those in opposition are concerned and upset that he isn't helping the crux of this issue, which is poverty, and saying that this is an example of poverty porn that's just done for content. In fact, a blind creator came out to say that, and I quote, "MrBeast's video on curing blindness might actually do more harm than good to the blind community by claiming that he cured blindness. Fundraising efforts for an actual cure may very well stall out." Your thoughts, Noah?
I think if he claimed to have cured the blind, isn't that what Jesus did, or someone said he did, right?
Yes.
So I feel like that would be a little heavy-handed. I don't think it has to be more. Oh, is this said Hound the whole time?
No, it said Noah, which I don't know if it is correct. It is your name.
That should be easier to read. Now it says something else.
Yeah, it's a little bit easier. Just have to.
Yeah,
that works. Okay,
I'm bilingual, so that I can read it.
Right.
Well, the thing about this, the idea of it doesn't have to be. His motivations don't have to be one over the other. They can be the same. In his desire to view max, to get as many views as he can on a video, and to have the most compelling of a thumbnail and title, he landed on the idea to cure the blindness of 1,000 people. The fact that his motivation was to view max doesn't negate the help that he gave to those people, but ultimately it still is a form of hypercapitalism because he's trying to succeed within the framework of
yes. Yeah, I completely agree with that. I think some could say that he's trying to pull this crazy yet very objectively good stunt to top his last video, which could be why, to follow this video, a week later he created a video where he helped 1,000 deaf people hear with the same format, same type of thumbnail, and same kind of overall appeal.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's best to view Beast as less of a moral individual actor and more of a honestly an online what's the word?
God?
More of a god figure, exactly. Okay. An omnipotent god where, whatever his motivations are, whatever his intent is, don't really matter.
Doesn't
because
matter
as a god, he will try to win YouTube. Because that's what God wants.
So it's all a game for God at the end of the day.
Postulating on his, real inner workings. Oh, does the Beast care? Does the Beast not care? Is he just trying to get to the cheddar? We can do that all day, but materially, we know why he's doing what he's doing. And he may very well want to help those people, but at the same time, the only reason he's doing it is to view max. And he's been fairly transparent about that fact.
He has been fairly transparent about that fact. Okay, so MrBeast cured blindness. Is he a capitalist pig or a philanthropist, Noah?
Jesus cured the blind, and when we look back at him, do we call him a capitalist pig? No, we call him, I don't think we call him a philanthropist.
But at the same time, I understand where you're going. He has the character traits of a philanthropist in the way that he sort of just helps people and is kind to people and cures blindness, which they both have in common.
Exactly. And I think he would do it regardless of the views. If he had the power to cure 1,000 blind people and it didn't serve his YouTube career, the most successful YouTube career in history, he would probably just do that regardless. I don't think
I absolutely agree. MrBeast is a philanthropist. Moving on. Okay, on to scenario/situation number 3. This is very recent. No, I'm not sure if you have heard of this, but MrBeast revealed he has 15 YouTube videos filmed that he'll publish after he dies to keep his channel alive. Now, on one hand, sure, that's very content-brained, and ultimately a big part of his grind set. But on the other hand, he's not going to be making any money off of this. This doesn't necessarily personally gain to him because he's going to be dead. So really, he's maybe making the content just for the people, to entertain an audience. That doesn't help him in any way. Your thoughts, contestant, my only contestant and guest, Noah.
Yeah, well, thanks for choosing me to answer this one. I appreciate that.
Anytime, buddy.
Well, we don't know who the AdSense goes to, right? Unless he shows receipts that it's going to his mom or to the 1,000 people, to 1,000 poor people.
Yeah.
We also know the Beast likes doing stunts and pulling pranks and being a wacky guy, so he could fake his death.
Yeah. Does sound like him.
He could fake his death and then view farm off of that and then come back from the dead, much like
Jesus. Oh, wow.
A zombie.
Oh,
but yeah, Jesus too.
Oh, shit. Yeah, a zombie. Okay.
I think that's a possibility always. You never know with the Beast.
You never know with the Beast. So unpredictable in his ways.
And also, we don't know what the videos are be. They could be logs from inside of his Beast factory telling everyone that he was controlled by the powers that be to view farm and capture children's attention and keep them away from, understanding the realities of the world and hypercapitalism and the forces that are pitted against them.
Yes.
It may be him opening up finally about the truth, but we'll just have to wait and see. I'm personally very excited. I don't want him to die.
Are you sure? Because that's what it sounds like, kind of, Noah.
No, like if he dies, he dies, right?
Okay, so our answer for controversy number 3 is MrBeast a capitalist pig or a philanthropist? Your answer, Noah.
I think this one falls more along the lines of philanthropy because he's giving away his life, and we don't know where that money's going.
Yes, it's not to himself.
He gave his life. He sacrificed himself for all of us YouTubers and YouTube viewers, much like
Jesus Christ.
Jesus H. Christ.
Philanthropist. Moving on. Number 4. MrBeast revealed he spent $15 million to build a Walden City to house hundreds of Beast Games contestants. Now, there is controversy surrounding this upcoming game show, Beast Games, as it is currently taking center stage with crew members getting hospitalized due to falling set pieces, and contestants suing the YouTuber over inhumane working conditions. Now, this is not new. He has had contestants take part in his challenges and state that the conditions of the contesting were depressive and made her, quote, want to die.
One kind staff member of the only three kind staff members that I came across that were like really concerned about the well-being of all the people that were so distraught had actually come to me and asked me if I was okay, and I told them I wasn't. I told them that I wanted to die.
But there's good, too. Jimmy claimed that he gave away $20 million to participants, including the $5 million grand prize. Now, that is free money going into the hands of, I presume, poor people. So to an extent, he's helping, but I want to hear your thoughts.
Yeah, okay. Well, that doesn't sound like the Beast I know, but if that happened and if that, if that gets proven in court, I think that's pretty bad, and I think someone should probably look into that further. But at the same time, you got to always go back to money talks, and if people got paid, that should cover medical bills. I'm pretty sure. I'm overall pretty healthy. I don't get healthcare related stuff, but I heard it's cheapish, or like it's getting cheaper or something like that, and more freely available.
Right. I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't either, but based on that assumption, we can just go ahead and say that I think that could be a bad one, but maybe it's not with Beast. We'll just have to...
Understood. So, with your decision, would that be a capitalist pig or a philanthropist?
I think even though there's elements of capitalist piggery going on here, we don't know for sure what caused these sorts of injuries and who did them. From what I know of Beast, that he's a good dude, even though he was overseeing this process, it's the workers that typically end up doing things like this in these situations. The workers, I think they need to take some more responsibility and kind of pull themselves up by the bootstraps and stop messing around on set. Whoever built, was it Beast that didn't nail in the boards properly for the set piece that broke? I don't know. It could have been. I don't know for sure. So in that regard, the reason you, for tax purposes and legal purposes, sign the Beast company as a corporation is because it absolves you of liability for what your workers do. And that's just my official legal statement. Although I do not condone any of the bad stuff that the probably workers did.
Understood. So what you're saying is, in this situation, Jimmy may be more of a capitalist, but that doesn't inherently mean he is a pig by nature.
He's doing what he has to do. This is his obligation. This is how the system works.
Understood.
You don't like it, you can move or make a video.
Make a video.
Yeah, you can move to a communist country. Yeah, where they don't have
China or
these
something.
Challenges. Yeah, where they don't have Lunchly.
Not yet. They will soon. Number 5. MrBeast revealed that all 34 million pounds of trash from Team C's have been removed from the ocean. This one's pretty hard to be on the opposition side for. MrBeast revealed that his Team C's initiative has successfully removed over 34 million pounds of trash from the ocean since the campaign was first started in 2021. Noah, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I can't really disagree with that. I want to know where are they putting the trash? Into the ground?
As in, like, where are they taking it, like, out of the ocean and putting it?
Yeah, they took it out of the ocean. Where are they putting it in space? Are they putting it in another ocean?
It's actually a really good question.
We don't know. It said that's what they took out of it, but where'd they put it?
Let's take a look. Okay, so his thumbnail. Right, let me see if I can show this to you. In his thumbnail here, though, it really just shows MrBeast cleaning up all the trash by himself, and all of the cleaned up bags of trash are sitting behind him on the sand. So I guess my question is, you know, like, did he just move it from the water to the ground?
Oh, wow. Yeah, it looks like he did all that himself.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if he did this himself, and I'm not going to watch it because I don't like doing bare minimum research, but I think that's awesome. And I think, you know, that does make him a philanthropist, even if he made money off of it for the YouTube video, regardless of where he even put the bags. It's kind of like trash is out of the water. You save some turtles. You put the bag in a landfill. A bear gets into it. You kill a bear. Turtle for bear. Turtle versus bear.
That sounds about right to me.
The law of equivalent exchange.
Of nature, yeah.
Yeah, and then people can go to the beach.
Yeah, and enjoy their time in the water. I think what you're trying to say is he is a philanthropist.
On this occasion, I would agree, yes.
On to number 6. MrBeast reportedly bought up a whole neighborhood for his staff to live in. Now, on one hand, the intention being to have a good chunk of his workforce live in close proximity if they so choose. It's a choice here, allowing for stress-free accommodation on his budget, all the while, theoretically, he is able to boost productivity while reducing commute time. That is that grind set brain that everyone really needs to have. Now, on the other hand, there is a former resident that revealed he was apprehensive about selling his property to MrBeast at first, a mindset that others on the street also shared. Now, the question is this an example of gentrification?
Beastification?
This former resident stated, and I quote, "We negotiated back and forth, and it had to be worth my while, and he wasn't going to buy it if it wasn't worth his while. Some people have been there for a while. Some people, like one neighbor, had only been there for maybe a year." Your thoughts, my one and only guest, Noah.
I got to think about this one. Could you go to, you said that I'm the only guest?
My one guest among others in the room is what I meant.
Got it. Okay. Let's cut to them real quick for their thoughts, and then you can cut back to me when I've gathered
cool.
Mine. It sounds like if they reach terms that were acceptable to, you know, the people they kicked out, as it were, or bought the, you know, properties of, I think no harm, no foul necessarily.
No harm, no foul.
My thing, it would be, even though it sounds like it would be voluntary for the workers to move there, it's not necessary. It's not really it's voluntary, but you're being rewarded with something that you wouldn't be rewarded if you were to not make the move. You get it sounds like he bought it for them, right? So there's an incentive in that regard. And anytime you're, you know, uprooting people's lives potentially for their work, it might be something that they want to do, but at the same time, if they want to live their lives doing their own thing in peace, it may be a peaceful beast city, I don't know. I do think like Amazon settlements or these ideas are very kind of insidious, because it's like, we have everything we need in our little Google pods. This is awesome, which usually the perks are kind of cool, but at the same time, having agency as a human being to go do your own thing is also cool. And I don't know what the contract terms are for living in the beast houses, but you know, framing it as, oh, he's just helping them lower their commute, I don't really buy that fully, you know.
Yeah,
because it completely makes sense. But
that completely makes sense. You're saying on one hand, the beast is helping these people to where their lives, when they're being employed under the beast, are a lot easier, but it's more of a contractual obligation to where these things can only stand if you're employed under the beast. So it's really more of a sort of like one-sided situation here.
It requires one to adhere fully, to adhere their lives to their job in a way, in a committed way beyond what I think in terms of the relationship between your contribution to the production of capital. I don't think that's, I think that strips away your agency as a person, which I don't think is good. As a human being to live.
Yeah.
Even if it's like, you know, we said voluntary, and even if it cuts your commute down, is it really voluntary if you are financially incentivized to do so? Right. I don't think so. People can make their own choices, but I don't necessarily, I don't know. I have more complex thoughts about that one, I suppose.
Yeah, but at the same time, it really sounds like your thoughts around Jimmy here are coming to a much more progressed state.
Yeah, I mean, we read that article. It definitely framed him as being sort of like a very positive guy, but I don't agree with that framing necessarily in this case, which is, it's good to have a change in perspective sometimes, and I'm starting to question my own allegiance to the beast, because as a capitalist pig myself, I don't like some of the stuff that's going on here, some of the stuff I've been hearing about, which I'm hearing about for the first time, because I don't have internet at my place.
So you're saying that MrBeast is, in this scenario, a capitalist?
Definitely a bit more of a capitalist here.
Okay, all right, let's move on. This is the last scenario / controversy, Noah. It is number 7, and it's a hefty one. Now, MrBeast was rumored to be showing up to a local grocery store and paying for everyone's groceries. He made this a commitment. He went to his hometown to visit a store, and this, on one hand, was intended to be a quiet project where Jimmy would turn up and pay for a few people's groceries. But the grocery store leaked his arrival, and MrBeast had to cancel due to security reasons. So on one hand, the intention is there. He was going to buy people's groceries, but on the other, this is a pretty heavy promise that he left in the dust, which I'm sure a lot of people were looking forward to. Do you have any thoughts about this?
If he was truly trying to go undercover and just help people, something about, I feel like he has enough infrastructure around him to make sure that, you know, they wouldn't be able to leak it. I would need to know the specifics of the story. Frankly, from what I'm hearing today, I'm seeing a new side of the beast, and I don't know if I believe that he wanted to do this out of the kindness of his heart.
Of course. How profound of an answer, Noah. I think this is important because this is the one and only episode of this game show, but already my one and, among others, guest is here today, and he's had a change in heart, and that really, really makes me smile. So Noah, I have to ask you the number one question. Is MrBeast a capitalist pig or a philanthropist?
My final verdict is that he's a capitalist pig that uses philanthropy to maximize his ability to produce capitalist pig meat or milk or whatever they do.
Wow, you really just chose both answers. That isn't even allowed, but I'm gonna allow it because I didn't think you would do that. So you're telling me that Jimmy here, the beast, is both a capitalist pig and a philanthropist, as in they are interchangeable in a way.
Not interchangeable.
No, not interchangeable.
One is subsumed into the other.
Okay.
One does not occur without the other.
Without the other.
The philanthropy does not occur. And that only occurs, that's one directional. The philanthropy doesn't occur without capitalism. The capitalism occurs regardless of the philanthropy.
Right? I see what you're saying.
Which is why, you know, a lot of his videos, at least starting out, weren't philanthropic. You know, he got viral off of counting to a million or whatever.
Yes.
Forgot
about that.
That's what YouTubers do. We are doing
I do that all the time.
Same thing.
We're doing it right now.
Exactly. Literally. Yeah.
Yeah.
Capitalism is one iPhone, and yet here we are.
Yeah, here we are. iPhone. I have a Mac.
We're on an Apple. We're on Apple. People who are dedicated to improving the world, typically there's more oversight on things like the harm that has been caused on the sets of the Beast and the way the participants have been treated, in the sense that if it was really about them, as opposed to just writing them a check for however much, there would be more oversight in that regard. That still doesn't change the fact that giving money away is technically philanthropy. And that also doesn't change that the reason he's doing is to grow his YouTube channel, which I don't think is a sin. You know, I don't think it's not illegal. I don't think it's wrong. And I don't think that invalidates the help that caused by like the surgeries and stuff. I wish he would go more into the realities behind why the system creates things like that. It's silly for me to even assert that, because that's not why the Beast exists on the street. That's what I essentially am when I'm saying, Beast, why won't you talk more about workers' rights? Because he doesn't care. And that's not why he exists.
No, yeah, I completely agree. And it makes sense as to why he's kind of like built himself a new content niche in a way that is almost based in philanthropy. So when that aligns with sort of the YouTube algorithm and content creation, the game is trying to top your last video. And if your last video is taking all the trash out of the ocean and it does really well, you're going to want to do more of that kind of stuff. So although a lot of his actions are, you know, objectively helpful and kind things, it's very hard to separate, or you can't, it's impossible to separate the capitalist grind set perspective and sort of overarching thing there from the philanthropy, which is just involved anyway.
Yeah, it's like there's an evil version of MrBeast where he finds the same amount of YouTube success by doing like, why is there an Asian lady in my video game? You know, where he figured out a way to view max on that. I'm glad he's not doing that, and that instead he's doing philanthropic type of acts. But it still all exists under the same structure. And let's not kid ourselves about what the results of that structure are in the vast majority of cases outside of, you know, the acts that occur from the Beast. And you know, I the reason I'm sympathetic is to the Beast is because from what I've heard, there's you know, behind the scenes in terms of how he operates his business and how he treats his workers and how, you know, there's nothing weird going on. It seems like it's all good.
Wait, I'm sorry. You didn't hear about the allegations, Noah?
Which allegations? What are you talking about?
Yeah, he hired a registered sex offender, CGI'd a rundown building for dramatic effect, has allegations of sexual harassment occurring on sets, and uses child slave labor for the production of his Feastable bars.
Oh, fuck. Okay. Well, yeah, that's fucked. Fuck that guy.
Noah Samsen went on to live an informed life, where he did his research and approached nuanced situations just a little bit more prepared. This granted him a happy life, with a wife and 2 children. He learned that people in positions of power are more often shed in a positive light, and we should not be giving them the benefit of the doubt, but rather the little guys. The little guys that don't have those positions of power to use as a crutch. And now Noah will instill in his little guys, his children, that same sentiment just as you should. Thank you for watching the one and only episode of MrBeast, Capitalist Pig or Philanthropist. I'll never forget you. Good night.